Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey hey hey, goodbye. Na 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 na, hey na 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 na. Hey hey hey, goodbye, Daryl Morey. Yeah. The Sixers have fired GM Daryl Morey, and they finally relieved him of his duties. And I got to tell you, the news broke yesterday, and I was taking a walk on the trail around my neighborhood, and I wanted to check the phone, checked Instagram, and I saw, boom, Daryl Morey's out as GM of the Philadelphia 76ers. And I was so pumped up because this is finally what we needed. Change in our front office. We need a GM that's going to come in here and try to turn this team around. Now, it's being told that Josh Harris is expected to meet with Bob Myers, the former GM of the Golden State Warriors. I think hiring him, it would be a great hire because he can turn things around in the right direction and get this process going. I call this the process 2.0, the resurrection of the process. The Embiid era with the process hasn't worked. We need something new. Trade talks with Embiid and Sabonis, I don't think that would be a great trade. I mean, you could look for others, but the question is, my only issue is, what superstar would want to come here right now the way the team looks? Like, when you just look at what just happened, the Sixers, we just got swept by the Knicks, like flat out. They destroyed us. We got destroyed. So the amount of superstars that might want to come to Philly to play here might look limited right now. Now, it's not impossible, but right now it looks unlikely. But you got to see what you can do as far as trading for a superstar and who you can draft. But getting rid of Daryl Morey was the first step in the right direction. And the Sixers also decided to keep Nick Nurse. And the more I think about it, I'm not too upset that we kept Nick Nurse. Because looking at Nick Nurse, when you look at the team and the way it was, with all the injuries that they had and sustained, like, Nick Nurse is not his fault. Like, what do you want the guy to do? I mean, if the lineup is hurt and injured, the lineup's hurt and injured. You can't, it's not his fault that the lineup keeps changing every other night. So, keeping Nick Nurse, it's not the worst decision. It's not a great decision, but it's not the worst decision. I give Nick Nurse a little bit of a pass. Daryl Morey, getting rid of him, first step in the right direction. The second thing would be to see who you can trade for. Whether if it's Embiid or Paul George, you got to free up some space as far as the cap space goes. And then you go from there. Can't believe on ESPN First Take, they went along with Josh Hart's comments about saying if Philly's still a great sports city. And I had me thinking, like, are they really seriously doing this take? Like, just because the Sixers lost and got swept doesn't not make Philly a sports city. A great sports city. Philly is still a great sports city. No matter what, through the goods and the bads. One playoff series loss doesn't determine that. Sure, it sucks to get swept. Nobody wants to get swept, including the Flyers as well. But just because both teams got swept with the Sixers and the Flyers doesn't make them a bad sports city. It's one of the greatest sports cities still to this day when it comes to the mentality and the heart and the hungriness. The thing they brought up is, should Tyrese Maxey want out of Philly? And the answer to that is no. Why would Tyrese Maxey, when he's built a connection with VJ Edgecombe and they've played well together and him and VJ are the future of this team, why would he want out of the situation he's in right now? All you need is a little restructuring and retooling. That's all you need. You don't need to go crazy and say, oh, I went out. This is never going to work out. No, it takes some time. And I'm sure that's what Tyrese knows. He knows what the process is like. And he knows that within the next few years, we should be able to get back in title contention. It's just going to take some time. If it takes 5 years, it takes 5 years. If it takes 3 years, it takes 3 years. If it takes 6 years, it takes 6 years. It'll happen eventually. So as far as Tyrese, should he want out of Philly? My answer at this point in time, no. Maybe if the team failed him year after year after year after year, But no, right now, where we stand right now, no. He should not want out of Philly. We hire as our new GM, whether that be Bob Myers or somebody else, has to restructure our bench in the right, proper, correct way. Because our bench is the reason why we lost and got swept to the Knicks. We need a bench that can contribute with the guys that we have. Now, how's the starting lineup going to look? Most likely, if I had to put money on it, with Embiid and Paul George, I think one goes and one stays. My opinion would be get rid of both to reshape up the team, but most likely one's going to stay and one's going to go. And I have a good feeling of who it's going to be and who's staying and who's going. But then you got Kelly Oubre, Quentin Grimes that are free agents. Kelly Oubre's out here saying that he never got a great contract. Well, my first opinion would be re-sign Kelly Oubre immediately because he made such a big impact as the season waned on as we got into the playoffs. Kelly Oubre was a big factor. And same with Quentin Grimes. Two would be immediate re-signees. And I'm hoping that the Sixers can re-sign both of them because they both contributed in a good way. DJ's comments when he went and said that nobody's going to leave him open next year. That's eager. That's hungriness. He's ready for next year. He's only 1 year in and he's already ready for next season. That's the toughness and the mental tenacity of VJ Edgecombe. He goes off in his sophomore season next year with his second year in the league. And I think he will. Right now, when you're looking at this Sixers team, if you keep them the way they are, they're going to finish with and they stay healthy, they would finish with about 50 wins. With restructuring the team a little bit, you should be able to get around the same amount, if not a little more, about 48 to 52 wins next year. If you restructure the team the right way, you should be able to win around 48 to 52 games. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. And if the Sixers hire Bob Myers or somebody else to take over and put this team in the right direction. And I am looking forward to see what happens this off season. That's all for today, guys. Remember, if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, smash that ridiculous thumbs up button. Let me know in the comments what you think, what your latest thoughts are. What you think of Daryl Morey finally getting fired? How excited are you? How do you think this team will look next year? Will we hire Bob Myers? And by the way, follow me on my Spotify at the Code Red Philly Sports Talk, my Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, always in the link in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time on the Code Red Philly Sports Talk. Goodbye, Daryl Morey. Go Sixers.